Supposed biblical error. Jesus went from Tyre to the Sea of Galilee through Sidon. Mark 7:31 says, "Then he returned from the region of Tyre and went through Sidon to the Sea of Galilee, in the region of Decapolis." This doesn't sound odd until you point out how this trip would look on a map. Sidon is north of Tyre, and the Sea of Galilee is southeast of Tyre. So this means Mark tells us Jesus went north so he could go southeast? That doesn't make sense, and skeptics like Larry Taylor are quick to bring up that this shows Mark had no clue what he was talking about. However, perhaps they're being a bit too quick, as philosopher Tim McGrew has pointed out. First, we need to know context. Mark never says Jesus was in the city of Tyre. Verse 24 says Jesus went up to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and a region is not a city. Mark says Jesus was in the general area of the two cities listed. Jesus could have gone anywhere in the region of Tyre and Sidon. If so, it is plausible he was in that region and yet still north of Sidon, then headed south through Sidon back to Galilee. In the same way, if I was in the region of New York and headed south through Albany to Baltimore, that would not mean I was in the city of New York and headed through Albany, but that I was in the general region associated with the city. So in the same way, Mark says Jesus was in the region of Tyre and Sidon, not the city of Tyre. And since he went through Sidon to head south, he was probably far north of the city of Tyre, yet still in that associated region. Second, even if Jesus was closer to Tyre, we still need to remember the earth is not flat. A lot of times the quickest road is not necessarily the most direct route, due to rough or mountainous terrain. And if we replace this map with a topographical map, we can see right between the Sea of Galilee and Tyre is Mount Meron, with an elevation of about 1,200 meters. Mount Meron also lacks a lot of water availability, and the one thing you don't want to do is be climbing mountains in Palestine without water. And to get around this mountain on foot would be quite a long trip, so you would need a place to stop for the night and to find food. So if you were to head north to Sidon, you would have access to food and you could get some rest. Then there is a path that takes you around the mountain and right to the Jordan River, where you'd have plenty of water for your trip down to the region of Decapolis. By Mark telling us Jesus went north first to get to the Sea of Galilee, he is actually telling us he understands Palestinian geography better than modern skeptics do, who bring this charge up, since he understood there was a large mountain in the way, and a safer route would be to go north around the mountain. If Jesus was south of Sidon in that region, he could stop in the city of Sidon for a short rest and food, and then head directly east on easier and safer terrain to the Jordan River, where there was plenty of water available. It wouldn't make much sense to take the direct route and go over the mountain on foot without a lot of available water. So when it comes to this supposed error, we can easily note the text says Jesus was in the region of Tyre and Sidon, not the city of Tyre itself. So considering when he left he went south through Sidon, he was probably in that general region and north of the city of Sidon. But even if he was not, he would still have to get around Mount Meron and would have to go north first before he could head south. This shows us Mark had an excellent understanding of Palestinian geography, being that he was able to take the mountains of Palestine into account. Thus this supposed error can be resolved.